we've got the head all built up and back onto the block, we're going to start putting the head bolts in. As you can see, I've got some in and I'm just going to start screwing them up tight. You can get the head bolts past the camshafts, you just have to move the cams so then they're in line with the cutouts are in line with the bolts. So I've got all my head bolts in the holes. Now we're going to torque them up to 40 Newton meters plus 90 plus 90, and we'll work from the center outwards. So center, these, so basically that one, then you do a cross and just keep crossing over. So we'll just keep doing that and working outwards, like I say, 40, 90 degrees, 90 degrees. New bolts, oil the threads lightly, and the underside of the head of the bolt, so where it sits to the washer, and then we'll torque this all down completely. So we're going to replace this oil pump chain now. Means we've got to take the sump off to be able to do it, so I've unbolted all the T30 bolts. And gone in and unbolted the engine mount bolts, so then I can put this blue stand onto the gearbox. Should now have enough room to get that sump out. And as per the timing chain cover, I've used a paint scraper to just slice the sealant open, and we'll just pop that sump off now. So I've got that sump off. It's actually quite clean in there, which is a good sign. I'm going to take this windage tray out now, so this little baffle, we're going to remove that. We need to unbolt the oil pump to be able to get this chain through. You can see the chain there on the oil pump sprocket. So that plastic windage tray or baffle is out of the way. We can now see the oil pump. We can undo these triple square multi-spine 10s. There's 3 of them. One here, one here, one here, and then we can get this chain off. As you can see, we cannot get that past. There is not enough room for a chain to fit through there. So now we've got the oil pump removed. And here it is, and you can take the chain straight off of it now. And now we've got the oil pump back in the car with the new chain installed. So we can reassemble it, put all the stuff back on, sump, etc. So we're going to go ahead and replace the timing chain for the balance shafts, and we're going to replace that lower sprocket also. I've already removed the tensioner which runs through here. The 27mm head is nut on the end of it. Undone that. I'm going to undo all these drive guides now. Now remove the chain and we'll time it all up. So we're just going to have a quick comparison of the original and the new one. The original being on the left and the new one on the right. I'm feeling this, it's nice and smooth. This one is sharp to the touch. So we'll install this new one and time all the balance shaft chains first, and then we'll do the timing chain. Alright, so we're going to do our balance shaft timing chain now. You can see in the yellow paint the marks lining up. There is 2 dots lining up with 1 dot, 2 dots from the yellow markers, and then 1 dot above it. So a timing mark there, that little timing mark there, that notch in the pulley. And that yellow mark on the left is our crank timing mark. Now for our new balance shaft chain, there is 15 links between each of these marked links. So between here, don't worry about these, and here is 15 links along here, and then counting these ones along down to the next one is 15. Miss that one, 15 again. So we'll line these singular dark links up. We won't worry about that one, and we won't worry about that one. So just the singular grey links will line up with our timing mark. So we've got the timing chain on, and we've got all the guides on. We're going to torque all these guide bolts up to 20 Newton meters. So 20 Newton meters on the torque wrench. So next step we're going to do is we've got to torque up the tensioner, which is a 27. So it's a 27mm bolt, and we're going to torque that up to 80 Newton meters. Now the timing is set. Put 1 mark link on that notch. Yellow mark has, and it's also got a notch lining up with the coloured link, and that arrow is pointing to that coloured link. And like I say, there's 15 links between each of those coloured links, so 15 times 3 would be 45 plus the 3 coloured links. It's 48 links on the chain, so it doesn't matter where you put it, which way around it goes. Just got to, it's always going to have 15 between each position, so the links just have to line up. So that's it. We'll just torque that tension up to our 85 Newton meters, and then we can put our actual timing chain on. So we're ready to put the timing chain on now. We've got 1 link lined up. This one will jump through with that 18mm spanner. So I will just lift the chain out of the sprocket and then actually allow it to jump through the teeth with the spanner and move it where I want it, and then I'll slide all the links in. Got that tooth lined up, that one lined up, the crank is actually lined up in the mirror. Hard to see. Got that guide just slid in. So what I'll do now is I'll just put a spanner on that 24mm crank bolt and just rotate the crankshaft clockwise just to pull a bit of tightness in the drive side of the chain. and then I can slide in my tensioner guide. So now we've got our marks. Our marks at the top are lining up. The mark at the bottom is lining up. Guides are all in, so we can pull the piston out on the tensioner, just pulling this pin. There's the chain tension. See our gold link is lining up. So here you can see just how small the amount is that the new tensioner comes out with a new chain. Just showing that what baseline is, so when you have a brand new chain, it's probably about 10 millimeters that is coming out. So yeah, about 9 or 10 millimeters. Got the oil pump guide on. You can pull the pin on the tensioner. This is the tensioner here. So that's now tensioned. New chain. Got 3 new chains on this. All new guides, all new tensioners. This bolt has been torqued to 9 Newton meters. So 9 Newton meters on this bolt for the oil pump chain. These bolts along here are 8 Newton meters plus 90. So as we can see, this gauze is split and it's come apart. Now the official thing Volkswagen says in their technical bulletins is if that is split, is to remove it, and as long as the ball detent behind it is okay, and just remove this and you don't have to replace this. So we're going to pull that out. Probably won't be able to do it on camera, but that's what we're going to use, long nose pliers. That's what it says in the bulletin, just pull it straight out. So we've pulled that unit out. Pliers didn't work, I had nothing to grab on, and all the plastic just kept breaking off, so I just used a little pocket screwdriver and got underneath it. Just lifted it out. It was actually quite easy to come out. It's just a brass fitting with a plastic cage gauze, I guess, in there. And like I say, as long as that ball detent is still in there and still works and returns, then that's fine. We can now reinstall that. So we've got this bolt torqued up to 20 newton meters plus 90 as well, being that it's the M8 version. I believe the M6 version is 6, or I think the M6 version is 8 newton meters plus 90 degrees. These ones are all 9 newton meters, and this one is 35 newton meters, but it is reverse thread. And I counter hold the camshafts on the slots where the head bolts are. Just an 18mm spanner fits for me on that one, and a 15 fits on that one. Again, the thickness of your spanner will vary, and I'm going to replace this seal, this O-ring seal, inside of here also. And then we'll just drop that front cover on, and everything else is pretty much all back together. Put all our PCV back on. I've just got to throw the wiring loom over and plug it all in, and then we're pretty much done. I've got all the lower timing case on. Got the crank bolt torqued up to 150 newton meters plus 90, and I've got my drive belt run and tensioned also. So it's all back together, and it's got I've chucked 5 litres of oil in it just to start it up. It should take 4.6, but we've had all the sump and engine all apart, so it will take a little more. Everything's ready to go, so I've not got the coils clipped in for now, but I'm going to crank the engine just to build oil pressure. And everyone always likes to say that I don't show the first start up, so we'll do this cold crank with the coils unplugged, and then we'll try and show the first start straight after as well. So we've done a good 15km road test with the car, and it's running great, performs great, does exactly everything that it should, so we're pretty much happy with it. And yeah, so that's it, done and dusted. We've washed all the engine down and degreased it all, so none of the oil that's remaining from the repair and previous leaks are remaining, and it's ready for the customer to collect now. So yeah, all good to go.